Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Stephanie. I am a life and relationship coach. This week, I wanted to dive into why empaths attract narcissists. And this is a really important topic because if you have been in a relationship with someone who's narcissistic and you are empathetic, highly empathetic, or an empath, or highly sensitive, chances are you want to know, how on earth could I have attracted this type of a person into my life? And it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship, it doesn't really matter. So let's get right into this week's video. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to be doing a free coaching giveaway, so make sure to stay tuned at the end of the video to find out how you can get free coaching with me. So let's get right into this. So if you're watching this video, chances are you're an empath, or you think you're an empath, or you're highly sensitive and you have attracted someone who's narcissistic into your life. So an empath is someone who is very naturally in tune with how others are feeling. So that means that you can feel people's energies on a very deep level. You can get very drained very quickly if you're in the wrong type of environments, or even if you're just in large social settings. Sometimes it can very much overwhelm you. You are caring and compassionate and loving. Like I said, you're just a natural caregiver. You are loyal and loving, loyal to a fault sometimes actually, and you believe the good in everyone. So you believe that everyone is good. And while these are all amazing qualities to have, the downfall with someone who is an empath, because they want to believe everyone is like them and everyone is loving and there's good in everyone, that they sometimes, and because they love to a fault sometimes, they're loyal to a fault, that they are prime targets for abuse. So because an empath is able to connect with others on such a deep level, because they're able to see things within a person that perhaps the person themselves can't even see. So if an empath can look at someone and say, I know why you do that. You do that because of this, this, and this. And then I have such empathy and compassion for the fact that you went through this in your life, which caused you to have this certain behavior. So that's kind of the way an empath works, is even though this bad behavior is happening, an empath can see why that bad behavior is happening, and they have such empathy and compassion for what someone went through that caused this, disorder or this behavior or this outburst to happen. And because they believe everyone is good, they will love to a fault. So they will love and love and love and want to nurture and care give so much in hopes of helping this person. And so sometimes that codependent thing can kind of dip in, and most codependents are empathetic and highly sensitive. Not all, but a large majority of someone who is, severely codependent has a very empathetic gene in them, right? They care so much and want to help others that it becomes something that actually hurts them in their relationships. Now, while an empath is obviously highly empathetic, a narcissist has absolutely no empathy at all. So a narcissist is just, like we know, me, I'm self-absorbed, I'm self-centered, I need narcissistic supply, I need things from other people outside of myself because I can't fill myself up and I have such a fragile ego that I need all of these things. And an empath is a natural giver, a natural caregiver. So they want to give and give and give to help the world, to heal the world. That's just how they innately are built. So when you have one person that is a natural giver and one person who's a natural taker, you can understand how this dynamic even starts, is that the empath, possibly codependent empath, gets hooked up with a narcissist who just wants to take and take and take, and an empath loves to give and give and give. It's just what they naturally do. So now, because an empath wants to believe the good in everyone and they love to a fault, they're loyal to a fault, this is perfect for a narcissist, because what's going to happen is, I'm going to groom you. I'm a narcissist. I'm going to groom you in the beginning of the relationship. I'm going to do all of these things, especially if you're dealing with a codependent empath. I'm going to do all of these things to hook you in, to make you believe that I'm the love of your life, and you're going to fall for it. And then as the relationship starts progressing, and I know I've got you, you're in this relationship, either you've moved in, you've been with this person for a long period of time, you're in love with each other, you're married, you have children, you're invested in this relationship, they know you're not going anywhere because you're not a person that just jumps ship. You're a person that loves to a fault. You are loyal. You are you're just a person that wants a normal relationship where you don't just give up on a relationship so easily because you have some bumps in the road. So the narcissist knows that. So they've completely loved bombed you, they've hooked you, and now you're invested in this relationship. And now this is when the abuse starts to happen. This is when that abusive cycle starts to happen that I've talked about in other videos. This is when the mask starts to fall off. A narcissist is an abuser, so they need to be with people that are enablers, people that forgive their bad behavior time and time again, that enable, their behavior and whatever it is that they want to do, because the world revolves around them, and it's all about what they need in every single moment. It's very much like a child. And so if I'm with someone who's empathetic, that's a natural giver, and someone who's extremely loyal and caring and compassionate, then they're going to forgive me time and time again, because as I do something wrong and I ask for forgiveness as a narcissist, I'm going to do that abusive cycle. I'm going to love bomb you after I apologize, and I'm going to, bring you back to that first time when we started dating or whatever, that period where you fell in love with me, and I'm going to do all the right things. And this is where the empath or codependent empath is going to start having cognitive dissonance, where I'm seeing behaviors. I saw this person in the beginning, then I see bits and pieces of someone different. The mask is coming off, and now I'm seeing that person in the beginning all over again, and it's a psychological, it's such a mental manipulation. It's so confusing mentally and psychologically to people that they get trapped in these relationships for a very long period of time because they don't believe what they see. They don't know what they're seeing. They're kind of so confused that, I'm an empath, so I'm loyal, and I'm not going to just leave right away. So they get hooked time and time again. So now if I'm an empath and I'm also codependent, that's just really a cocktail for severe abuse, because I can be empathetic, but I also can be not codependent and very self-loving. So I can be empathetic and want to believe the good in everyone, and I'm going to be a natural giver, but I'm going to learn how to keep that empathy in check and not give to someone who doesn't deserve it, who hasn't earned it, we haven't built a foundation of trust yet. So a healthy empath will still be empathetic, absolutely, but they would have learned how to put healthy walls around themselves and not just give, and not naively go through life thinking everyone feels and thinks like they do, because that's not the case. Now, if I'm a codependent empath, then that means that, like all codependents, I need love. I crave love. I have a fear of being alone. I have all these emotional wounds going on inside of myself, and I haven't healed any of them yet. So I'm looking for someone to save me, so to speak, to love me, to give me all the things that I don't know how to give myself. And if you're dealing with a narcissist, that person is going to give you everything you need, and it's going to be in that love bombing phase. So I'm going to give you everything that you need, because again, this narcissist knows you very well. They may not know that you're codependent, but they know that you need certain things in order for them to get what they want out of you, in order for them to abuse you. So they know what they need to do in order to hook you in, to then be able to do whatever they want and abuse you. And like I said, the cycle continues and continues. So how do empaths stop attracting narcissists into their lives? I think number one, if you're watching this, chances are you possibly have some codependency issues. So you absolutely need to tackle that demon right there. But I think the first thing is, everyone should know what abuse looks like. Everyone should know what emotional abuse looks like. Everyone should know narcissistic abuse and know what that cycle looks like in a relationship. And I think, physical abuse, that's pretty obvious. Sexual abuse, I would hope that physical and sexual abuse is obvious for people. But I think learning on what abuse actually looks like in a relationship, for me, that's step one. You absolutely need to know that, because you need to know in certain situations, oh my God, this person's they're gaslighting me, or they're being passive aggressive, or they're giving me the silent treatment, or whatever that looks like, right? Whatever tactic someone's using on you. If you don't know that someone's giving you that tactic, then how do you know that you're being abused? So the second thing is, you have to learn how to love yourself. So when I was talking about tackling that codependent demon, that means that you need to dive into self-development. You have to dive into, okay, where are all of my emotional wounds. But I think for most of us, we all typically have the same wounds. It's just the I'm not enough wound. And what I always say, and I say it everywhere, it's on my website, it's my tagline, everything in life starts with you. And the reason why I say that is because when you are good to go, you will just attract healthy things into your life. If I fully love myself and I love my life and I'm in a good space and I enjoy my life, I'm not gonna let anyone come into my life and ruin what I have built. Because I have a great life and I'm happy where I am. And you don't want anyone in your life that's going to hurt that happiness that you've built so hard to have into your life, right? So if I love myself and I know what I think, I know what I feel, I trust my intuition, and I don't allow anyone to gaslight me, and I know what a healthy relationship should look like, even if I've never had one. I know how I want to feel when I'm with the right person. If you know those things and you've really worked on yourself, that means that you have confidence in yourself. That means that you know how to set boundaries. You know how to enforce boundaries. You know how to verbally communicate with other people. You know how to respond and not react and get emotionally involved in arguments with people and things of that sort. So all of those things means you're not a good source of narcissistic supply for anyone who's an abuser. So it's not always about, all right, let me learn everything on narcissism so I can make sure that I can spot it next time I see it. That's not going to help you, because if you haven't healed any of that stuff inside and you haven't worked on yourself, it doesn't matter if you're able to spot a narcissist or not. You're still going to fall for all of the traps and you're going to overlook all of the red flags because you haven't tackled the demons that are going on inside of you. And again, I think another great point is when you're out there dating, understanding what healthy dating looks like. You know, not just giving yourself to everyone that you meet, and learning how to have healthy walls up. I think we should all have walls up with people, not walls where we block love from people, right? That we've known someone for a long period of time. And when you have an unhealthy wall up, that means that you don't feel comfortable to be vulnerable with someone because you don't trust. You don't trust that even if that person leaves, that you'll be okay. So you haven't learned how to really love yourself and take care of yourself. And what I've been hearing often from people is they've gone through these experiences and now they say, well, it's hard for me to trust other people. And it's not about trusting other people. It's about learning how to love yourself and trusting yourself. So learning how to date in a healthy way is not coming from lack, number one. It's not going out on a date and being like, oh my God, is this going to be the person? Oh my God, I'm so nervous. What if this is the person? And trying to be something that you're not and impress that person. It's you just going on some interviews and seeing if you have a connection with someone. And even if in the couple of dates you do have a little bit of a connection and a spark is there, you still have to build on that. There's a foundation that needs to be built. And using more logic than emotion in the beginning of your relationship or in the beginning of that dating phase in order for you to pick the right person and not get so emotionally involved. And that's why sometimes I say, especially for women, if you know that you're very emotional and that if you are intimate with a man, that you know that you're gonna immediately start either falling in love with him or really having strong feelings for him, then you shouldn't be sleeping with anyone until you know for sure that this is the guy for you, that you trust him, that you've built a little bit of that foundation and that trust with him. So I hope that this video has helped you understand why empaths sometimes attract narcissistic people, and I hope I gave you some great tips on how to make sure that you don't attract a narcissist ever again. And like I said, it all has to do with working on yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you guys are interested in getting a free coaching session with me, all you have to do is be a subscriber, be a part of the notification community. So that means you have to click on the notification bell. I would like for you to like and comment down below, and I will pick a winner in the first 2 hours of this video going up, and you can have a free session with me to go over anything that is possibly going on in your life, whether you're trying to set a goal, whether you have questions about a relationship that you're in right now. Doesn't matter. So you guys know what to do, and thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video.